I did start therapy because being home for so long by myself with my cat, I had a lot to think of. So after that, I thought it was a good idea to reach out to a therapist and just process all the thoughts that I had during lockdown. That we also need to have a wellness strategy in place for us, made by us, because only we know what we're going through and how we feel. There are huge problems going on in the world. There are people suffering for real, and I must take a stand. So it kind of awakened in me my activist side that I didn't have before. We gotta come together knowing that we have the right to be loved, we have the right to win in life, we have the right to a faith. There's a lot of pain in the queer community regarding their faith. We have the right to heal their faith and express their faith. Means we gotta come together fully present in who we are, not just our sexuality, all of it, our hearts, our mind. My name is Elsa Da Silva. My pronouns are she, her. I'm here representing House of Rainbow. We are a charity that supports queer people of Christian faith. We support them by helping them reconciling their sexuality and their faith. I work as a faith and integrative nutrition health coach. I'm a worship leader with my Christian community, and I also work as a nanny. The last 6 months have been like an emotional roller coaster for me. I actually just moved to London in October last year, so I only had enough time to find a job, find an apartment, and then we were in lockdown. I didn't have much time to really find a tribe, have a community. However, despite the lockdown, a lot of good things happened. With all the Zoom call happens, with all the virtual meetings happen, I was able, even through lockdown, to find like-minded people that helped me go through lockdown and still helps me go through this pandemic. Groups of queer people, groups of Christian people, groups of people focused on Black wellness. And so with that, I've been able to cope quite well, I think. I did start therapy because being home for so long by myself with my cat, I had a lot to think of. So after that, I thought it was a good idea to reach out to a therapist and just process all the thoughts that I had during lockdown. So that's really been helpful. I feel safe because when I go out, I have to catch the train to go to work, and everyone is wearing masks, which makes me very comfortable. I work with children, I drop them in school, I pick them up, and there are good safety measures in place. What really makes me a little bit unsafe, it's not even the community, it's the government, because I feel like their instructions aren't clear. Things shift very suddenly. For me, sometimes it doesn't make sense. And I believe that's a mixed message, especially to the young people, that when it's to be taken serious, they don't take it serious. And when it's time to relax, it's too relaxed. So my concern for my safety, it's more about the government and how they're dealing with the pandemic. Since lockdown, I've been using this app called Her App. They made a lot of events during lockdown, like Friday nights, online gathering to drink and play games. I joined a group called QCC, Queer Creative Club. After lockdown, they managed to do a lot of gatherings, outdoor gatherings, picnics, brunches going out, things related to arts and crafts, music. So even now, I'm still in touch with them, participating in their events, because I believe it's important to come together as a queer community. But I also deliver service in the height of George Floyd manifestations, protests. I'm from Cape Verde, my family's from Cape Verde, and with other girls from Cape Verde, other people from Cape Verde, we started running online workshops for Black mental health and wellness. And as an integrative health coach, I was able to deliver workshops in nutrition and wellness. How does that impact our mood and our mental health? I ran sessions on racial trauma and meditation, and how to purge all the negative tension that was happened so strongly a few months ago. And it went very well. I was very content with it, but it also made me see how much need we have in the community going forward in regards to wellness and healing within our community, whether it's Black community or queer community. Because I feel like in times of pandemic, we are the least concerned with, right? And so I think it's really important that we are aware that we also need to have a wellness strategy in place for us, made by us, because only we know what we're going through and how we feel. So we gotta come together, and we gotta be intentional in making those things happening. It's very important. And I am a queer, and I am a foreigner in a land that it's not mine, So like all these layers to deal with. And this year in particular, when I look at Trans Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, it speaks even deeper to me. I have to look in the mirror and define and understand who I am, and accept what sometimes I don't want to accept, that I live in a society that doesn't see me as equal. Because I like to expect the best from everyone, and we're all humans and we all live together, But that's not the reality, right? So by seeing the manifestations of Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, it forced me to sit down, and I'm not saying not be so positive, but be realistic, that there are huge problems going on in the world. There are people suffering for real, and I must take a stand. So it kind of awakened in me my activist side that I didn't have before. I cannot just expect that everything will be well. We gotta fight. We gotta take a stand. We gotta continually move in our lives without losing sight of their reality, that we are not seen as equal, and that we always gotta make our voices be heard. They won't bother to ask us what we think and what we want, right? And so in my identity, there has been a huge shift. I would say before I was someone who would, I still believe in the power of prayer as a Christian, but today I'm in a space where I'm gonna pray and then I'm gonna march. So what pride means to me in 2020, it's about a collective consciousness. That's how I feel. I feel that we will win when we come together. Gays, lesbians, trans, non-binaries, Black, white, those of faith, those of no faith. This is the thing. When you're queer, you're still human, obviously. And like every human, you have holistic needs. So we gotta come together in a way that honors those needs. We gotta come together knowing that we have the right to be loved, we have the right to win in life, we have the right to a faith. There's a lot of pain in the queer community regarding their faith. We have the right to heal their faith and express their faith. When I say we gotta come together as a collective consciousness, it means we gotta come together fully present in who we are, not just our sexuality, all of it, our hearts, our minds, our spirit. We gotta be whole. We gotta encourage one another to be whole. I think that's what Pride is for me in 2020. I see future Pride, the upcoming Pride, as a intersectional Pride, you know, where we celebrate each other, and not just queer people, even non-queer people can join us, celebrating us, you know, because we're all humans. Nothing, our sexuality changed nothing to it. And be open to whomever comes along. A few days ago was International Day of Pronouns. And pronouns, it's a hot topic at this moment, right? The non-binarity, the she, her, they, them. And I'm gonna be honest, a couple months ago, I was one of those people saying, I don't understand, you know? But if we're gonna be a collective consciousness, we just gotta decentralize our focus from us and be open and allow people to speak their truth and their reality and accept it. So if today it's not just about male or female, but it's also non-binary, okay, let's celebrate male, female, and non-binary. What are we to do? Send those people to the moon? Remove them from planet Earth? No, they're here and they're valid. So for me, the Pride of Future, it's intersection of who people say they are, and let's respect that. What do I say to suspicious queers and religions? I'm gonna share a bit of my own journey, so that will make a little bit more sense. I've been in church since I was 20, almost 20 years now. I came out last year, and I went through a very deep introspection. You know, I feel like I did in 2 months, 2 years worth self-work. I read all the books, I prayed all I could pray, I worshiped all I could worship. I went to all the prayer meeting I could have gone. I prayed with all the people I could have prayed. Because this is funny, but I was looking for judgment. I was looking for punishment. I was looking for God to say, no, it's not right. But all I found in the deepest of my being was love, you know? And in that moment, that moment I felt that love. I knew my life was about to change, not because I'm coming out as a queer woman, but because I'm leaving behind church as I know it. And from this day forward, I'm writing a new story. Why do I say I'm writing a new story? Because we cannot force people to agree with us. People are allowed to think what they think. Those who don't affirm same-sex relationships are allowed to think what they think. I'm not going to spend my energy proving myself to them. I'm not going to spend my energy trying to make them think otherwise. I have the whole universe at my disposal. I'm going to write a new story. So I'm no longer going to stick around in a church that doesn't accept me or expects me to change. I'm going to work, and I'm going to start a church. Not say that I'm going to start a church, but I'm going to look for churches who are affirming and are inclusive, and I'm going to work with them and let everyone knows you may be excluded over there, denied over there, but right here, you're welcome. Right here, you're one of us. And so what would I say to queer people of faith who are hurt and who feel betrayal? Forgive and move on. Don't dwell in the sorrow. Don't dwell in the hate. Don't dwell in the anxiety. Forgive and move on. There are many doors out there open for you to walk in. It's not perfect, it's not always going to be easy, but you will be welcome. Look for those doors, step in, and make your space. Bloom where you are.